Okay, start. Good evening, viewers. Welcome to our channel. Today, we want to show you the project types which is available in AX 2012 and the purpose of using the type of projects based on the business scenario. So, before entering into the type of projects, let us first identify what is a project. A project is a temporary endeavor, the purpose of which is to create a unique product or a service. A project is different from an operation in a sense that a project is having a specific requirement. It is created for the purpose of creating a end result. The end result could be service or it could be a product. So once that end result is achieved, then the project ceases to be alive. The project ends, the project closes. Whereas in operation, it is a routine thing which is going to be continued day in, day out. It's a repetitive nature of the work which is being carried out. So considering this in mind, we have the different types of projects available in AX 2012 and we will also go through the types of project types. As you know, everybody know, in the navigation we have the company and then we are now in the project management and accounting, and let us go to the project management and accounting. We can go to the setup. Here in the setup under general we will find the type of project. So the purpose of default project type is whenever a project is created, that will show as a fixed price project. There are other types of projects which are available in AX 2012. They are time and material, fixed price, investment, cost project, internal, time project. So basically, what is time and material? A time and material project is nothing but when the project is on a continued basis, is having an agreement so that the project is being engaged on a continued basis where the resources are utilized on a continual basis. So there is no specified time limit for that. It can continue on basis of the number of resources being utilized for the project. The resources could be manpower or some sort of an expenses, or it could be an item. So any resources that are used in the time and material project, each resources will have a cost price as well as the sale price. The cost price will be booked to the project cost and the sales price determines the revenue for the project. It forms the basis based on the consumption, based on the actual hour booked in the project, based on the actual item consumed in the project, based on the actual expenses consumed in the project. We becomes eligible to invoice the customer. So the basis of reference of between the cost price and sale price can be defined based on a category or based on an item or based on the hour. We can book the expenses. Now this is nothing but the type of time and material project is nothing but proportionate to the investment done in the project. The company is eligible to claim its revenue from the customer. That is the basis on which it is continuing. The idea behind going for a time and material project is where the clients also feels that by engaging the company for doing a project, he is also sure that he is paying for what the actual work is being done. At the same time, the company which is doing the project will also have a understanding that for whatever the resources are being engaged or consumed in the project, he is getting a proportionate revenue. So it appears that both sides, the client as well as the project company, both are happy because both are able to get some sort of compensation out of the result. Here, there may be a possibility that if the number of days are increased, then the client may feel that he is investing more on the project, whereas there is no end time for this. So he may have a different feeling for that. So he may not be getting the end results, the purpose of which the project is created, he may not be able to achieve. He may feel like that. So for that purpose, there is another type of project is available where it's called a fixed price project, where the agreement between the customer and the project company is the project revenues are fixed. So that means the customer will pay the company for getting the work done. That means the end result. It could be a service or a product, as we have already discussed. For achieving that process, for the end result, we will get the revenues. Once these are completed, this end result is achieved, then we are eligible to raise the invoice to the customer. But at the same time, to have a continued inflow of the revenue, what happens is the end product or the desired result of the project is broken down into milestones, multiple milestones, so that proportionate to the milestone achieved, they can raise the invoice to the customer. So in this case, the revenue is fixed. Revenue out of the project is fixed for the project, the company which is conducting the project. But at the same time, there is no control on the cost invested in this. Because of no control on the cost, there may be a possibility that revenue being fixed, cost may go increased. The result may be the project may end towards a loss situation. So the control is very much, these type of fixed price projects are being favored mostly by the customers, whereas the time and material projects is being favored by the companies which are conducting the project. We will see how the system functions and what are the setups to be done, that we will go through in a short while from now. The other type of project which is available is the investment project. So in the investment project is nothing but the customer itself is the project owner. The customer is the project owner and he carries out the project. Here in this case, the investment, as it is an investment for the company, there will be a cost booking on the activities done or the resources consumed in the project. But there will not be any revenue, because the company itself is doing the project. There is no revenues involved in the investment project. Once that project is completed, the end result is achieved. It could be a product. In this case, there is a possibility that the company want to convert that into a fixed asset. You wanted to capitalize the product. In such type of scenarios, there is a process called elimination at the end of the project. Once that elimination process is activated at the end of the project, then the end product becomes the fixed asset of the company. So for example, for that is as a construction of a building by the own company, where they are going on the construction period, maybe for a period of 1 year, where they will go on invest their resources in terms of money, in terms of employees, in terms of item, in terms of expenses. They will go on and invest, and the project is slowly progressing, and at the end of the time frame, they will complete the project. And during this period, since it is done for the own company, there is no revenues, and finally cost only booked, we will be able to know the cost of the project. So and then once this project is completed, the product is end result, the building is being completed, is available, so that can be converted into a fixed asset. So that is the investment project. Coming to the cost project, where The purpose of the cost project is to do a small time work where there are no revenues available, only to record the cost which are involved in this project. For the purpose, the cost project is created. In the cost project, there is no possibility for converting that cost project into a fixed asset. So it cannot be converted. It is only just for the purpose of creating a record of expenses being booked in the expenses, however, or whatever the resources spent on convert for that project will be recorded in the cost project. So that is the difference. It cannot be converted into a fixed asset. That is the difference between this investment and the cost project. There are some internal project. Internal project is also similar, where there is no revenues or can be received. Only the cost can be booked. So just to know how much cost is invested, the period of the project is also lesser. We can analyze the cost invested in the completion of the project. There is a time project. There's a time project. It's only for the purpose of recording the manpower spent on completion of that task. There is no ledger integration in the time project, in a sense that if you want to have a record of sick labor or absenteeism, similar to that, if you want to check those, we will be able to record by creating a time project. It will be able to We will be able to see how much of breakup of these hours booked on this each of the activities, that is also available in this. So these are the main 6 types of the projects which are available in AX 2012. They are also matching exactly with the business requirements or the business scenarios. So now let's we will today now we will go through the time and material project, and in the coming days we will go through the other project types. So here I am in the setup. I am making it as a project default type is a time and material. Here the default project ID. So the default project ID is actually, it's a whenever a sub project is created, the sub project ID format will be like a 01, 02, 03, like that. We can go for it. We will just go through a cycle of the time and material project. I'll create a project. So this is a time and material project. Number sequence is giving. Project name, we can say that test 3rd October 17. So project group is there. So project group is nothing but the integration between the project as well as the financial ledger of AX. So we will go through the setup of the project groups subsequently. The project contract ID. This is nothing but the details of the funding sources and the details of other parameter available. So this test project. Now the funding type is customer. So customer, normally it is the customer, or it could be an organization, or it could be some sort of a grant, or on hold. So funding source, it throws up the lookup of the customer master. So let me try to take a Sparrow retail. So sales currency, say US dollar. It's also coming out from the currency master. So this project with the time and material is created. So when the project is created, it's created with the status created. It's a time and material project. This is the project number. This is a project group. This is a project contract ID. The contract is like we have created the project contract. We can have the possibility for scheduling the team. Now presently it's showing not staffed. So we can have the setup. So these are, if you want to bring activities in each of the journals, then we can put this tick mark. So it's coming like unticked because in the parameters we have not set the activity as mandatory. Once you put the tick mark, it becomes mandatory that you have to bring the activity in each of the journal lines. So project hierarchy is nothing but the sub projects. So this is the project parent project. Whenever you are going to create a sub project, the format will be coming like this, two lines. That means we can create 99 projects under this main project. Sub projects can be 99. So the revenue recognition will not be applicable here for the T&M project, because the revenue is recognized once the moment the invoicing is, once the um, resources are consumed in the project. Whereas in the fixed type, the revenue recognition is will be depending on different aspect, like a cost completion method or a straight line method. That we will discuss that later. So we can set up a budget control so as to have control over the project cost. So we can have the addresses, the address of the customer. It's showing. It's coming from the customer master. So this is the financial dimension values. This cost center, department, item group, project. So we can have the vendor agreements also. Like pay when paid, those setups can be done here. Payment retention terms. So whenever we are raising an invoice to the customer, we may maintain customer retention terms. So that's it. So now we will go and change the project state as in process. So it's asking for a confirmation. You're saying yes. Now this project is created. The first thing is, for accruing the revenue for this project, it is essential that we need to consume or we need to invest the resources. The resources could be item, or it could be a manpower, or it could be some sort of expenses booked in the project. So for consuming the items, or for we have a plan for consuming the items, we can use the item requirement form. The item requirement form comes from the work breakdown structure. It can be, item requirement form can be created directly, or it can also be transferred from the work breakdown structure. The work breakdown structure is nothing but for achieving the end task. For achieving the end task, what are the work is getting broken down in a logical as well as a manageable way. So that is the way if you want to break down the work, so that as a project we'll be able to monitor controls, and we'll also able to apply controls over the cost, as well as we'll also be able to foresee the sales of this sales revenue for each of the lines. So that's possible when we are going through creating the WBS. So here the item requirement form, we can create an item requirement form where we are planning for the items. So these are the plan for the items to be consumed. So if you can see that that's a requested ship date is also coming up. So we can plan, these are the items coming up. So I'll select an item. It's coming from the item master. So P001, so it's default site and warehouse is coming. So the quantity I may say 2. So the property is billable. So like I told, we have not selected the activity as mandatory. So we can also create one more line. Maybe this P001 is needed. Again, for one quantity, we can also have a different dates. So if we see, whenever a item requirement line is created, it creates automatically a sale order. This item requirement sale order, this is created automatically by, it's created automatically by the system, so that whenever you are doing the posting in the project, this sale order, packing slip and deliveries and invoices are getting posted, but all the transaction has to be done through the project. Now we will consume this item. So we'll do a packing slip for the first item. That means we are consuming this item. So this is showing that sale order, same sale order what we have shown. The sale order, this quantity, the same item, quantity 2. So we will close this, meaning this item 2 number P001 item, acoustic item is being consumed, the foam is being consumed. So now if you see, earlier there are 2 lines available in the item requirement form, now it has become 1. If you go to show, it's showing only the active. So which are planned, which are going to be consumed in the future, that's available. If you go to all, it will show all the items, whereas one line is having the status of invoiced, the other line is in the open order. Now what we will do, we will go to manage tab, like it was discussed earlier. Once we have invested or once we have engaged the resources in the project, the company becomes eligible to raise an invoice to the customer. So the customer invoice proposal we will do. Come to the manage tab, we do invoice proposal. So it's showing the project number. Since we are coming from the project, it's showing the project number. So that includes sub projects. This is the line which is available for invoicing. So this is the invoice, 37 is the sale price, 74 is the line amount. So we are doing a posting, creating an invoice proposal. These are the line details available. 2 number quantity, unit price of 37. This 37 is coming from the sales and cost price we can set for the item, and from the sale price it is picking up. So we can post the invoice. Now the invoice is getting posted. Now one invoice is posted. Now if I go and try to create an invoice proposal, no lines will be shown because there is no resources are engaged. So unless I engage a resource, unless I go for doing some work in the project, I will not be able to make an invoice to the customer. That is the basis on which the time and material project processes goes on. So we will tomorrow go through about in the next video we will also go through about the how the posting has happened, what are the basic setups needed for the time and material. So those aspects we will explore in the coming days. Thank you viewers, thank you for your time. If you like this channel, please subscribe and recommend it to your friends. Thank you.